rabbits and lizards and people coming back from the dead? Are you serious? Oh my. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here from Smash This Podcast, bringing you everything that's going down in the temple over the course of the last 2 weeks. We didn't do a show last week because, well, the holidays, the kids were here, so, Christmas vacation and whatnot. So we didn't get around to it. I wanted to, but there just wasn't time. So we're doing a little catch-up. We're going to talk about last week's episode, some bullet points from that, and we're also going to discuss this week's episode, Lucha Underground. So let's get into Season 3, Episode 17 first, a little bit, The Gauntlet. Let's talk about how this show opened. And speaking of people coming back from the dead, it starts out in the dojo with Vampiro and Prince Puma, and Prince Puma is, how do I say this? He's starting his journey into darkness, and he's pledging himself to Vampiro so that Vampiro can teach him the ways of darkness and get his revenge on Mil Muertes. This feud that has gone on since Season 1 that just keeps going, and yet it's one of those things where it's so well booked we don't get sick of it. At least I don't personally. We see some feuds get revisited and people complaining, oh, we got to see this again. But no, this is so good. That's why we love Lucha Underground, because the writing and booking is so great. Excuse me. So the fact that Prince Puma is dedicating himself to Vampiro now is just excuse me. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Pardon me. So let's get into this first match a little bit. We get Jeremiah Crane versus Mil Muertes with Katrina out there. Oh my goodness. hate wintertime colds. It sucks. Get those little tickles, annoying as hell. So pardon me. Great match between Jeremiah Crane. I love what they're doing with him. The fact that they're using him in the ring, not too much, but we're seeing him a lot. We're also seeing him in the backstage segments with Katrina. There's lots of crazy shit going on with him and Katrina. And it's really weird. And I'm going to kind of go back and forth a little bit because, like, what we saw in this episode tonight with Jeremiah Crane, after he beat him in episode, get my numbers right here, 17, and we saw him approach her tonight in episode 18 again. And she tells, what did she tell? She told him tonight that Mil Muertes is not the man that she loves. And that's just completely, Jeremiah Crane thinks he's got Katrina wrapped around his finger, that he's trying to get in her head. And she's actually getting in his head even worse. So to see these mind games going back and forth between these two is very interesting. And we saw that feud continue in tonight's episode where Mil Muertes is pissed off and is asking Katrina, how did Puma come back? Because Puma attacks Mil Muertes in last week's match against he and Jeremiah Crane are wrestling. And Mil Muertes is like, how did this happen? And Katrina informs him this week that if you want to get to Puma, you have to go through Vampiro. He's dealing, how did she say it? He's dealing with the dark arts, dark magic. She said something to that effect. And And we saw that at the end of this episode this week as well, where he comes down to the ring after the match between Mundo and Mac. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to stick with storylines. Now they all fit together. The fact that Mil Muertes attacked Vampiro at the end of this episode, tremendous. It was so cool. Not that you want that to happen, but just how this is all unfolding is awesome. And Puma comes down to the ring to rescue Vampiro. Vampiro stops him. Didn't understand that. Stops him from rescuing him and says no. And then Mil Muertes gives Vampiro a flatliner to end the episode. Crazy. Just crazy. So yeah, I can't wait to see how this continues. We've got one more episode, and I've got a feeling we're going to end up having a break of some sort between there, because they're calling next week's episode the mid-season finale, which will be episode 19. And we've got like 40 some episodes this season, 40-ish, give or take a little. Not sure exactly how they're going to do it. But next week is a lot of stuff is going to go down. I don't think we're going to get the match between Mundo and the Mac for the championship, because that's an all-night long match. We might. I'm not sure. I don't think they said it's going to be next week. I'd be surprised that they would just have the mid-season finale all one match. You've got to, build up stuff. You've got to wrap up storylines, or put a defining moment on a few of these. I think that's what they would do in a mid-season finale. At least that's what most shows do. So, what else is going on here? Oh yeah, and just in my notes here from last week, it was so cool that after Puma attacked Mil Muertes, he bows to Vampiro. That was awesome. And Stryker asks him later, when they came back from commercial, like, what's going on? And Vampiro's like, you don't need to worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And then Sexy Star gets a little gift from, who the hell is that? Ricky, damn, I cannot think of his name. I didn't write it down here. Ricky something. I think that's the guy who's going to end up joining the Worldwide Underground with Mundo. He's the guy that's in the season 3 trailer that's with him. The guy that we couldn't identify, or that I couldn't identify. It looks a lot like Mundo, who certainly sounds like he's a mega fan of Mundo. Stalker, maybe? Possibly. Oh, that's going to bug me, and I can't think of his name. It's Ricky something. Sorry, I can't remember it. I apologize. So yeah, Sexy Star receives this little gift with a creepy little name tag on it, opens it up, and it's another spider. Furiously storms into Dario Cotto's office, demands a match with Mariposa, because she's assuming that Mariposa is doing all this to her, and Mariposa already told her, it's not me. It's not me. And Dario gets all crazy excited. He's like, oh, you want another no mas match? And she's like, no, just a good old-fashioned beating. And that's what we got this week. 2 girls just clobbering the crap out of each other. Not a lot of, really tremendous wrestling. Just a lot of beatdowns. And that's fine. Every once in a while, you need a match like that. 2 chicks just, they're not slapping each other. No, but they're just, beating the crap out of each other. Especially that spot where Mariposa was banging Sexy Star's head into the announce table. Oh my God. Beating her head in there like a bass drum. Just, that was sick. It was just badass. Sexy Star comes out with a win in that one this week. Very cool. And very strange that after the match between Sexy Star and Mariposa, Marty the Moth, God, it's between the two episodes, it's like there's so much shit going on. Sorry. Marty the Moth comes down to console his sister and then choke slams her and cackles terrifyingly over her. Wow. Is this the last we're going to see of these two together, or is this like a form of tough love that he's giving her? I don't know. It's really weird. But then again, everything about Marty the Moth isn't exactly normal, is it? Let's see. Let's go back to last week. What was next? Oh, this was hilarious. Famous B approaching Tejano, and he wants to represent him. He says he can make him famous, saying that the fans, they cheer you, but they don't respect you, or something to that effect. And he's like, well, just think about it. Tejano's not sold on it. Although after the loss that he took at the end of the episode, he might take Famous B up on it. Or Famous B might confront him again and talk him into it. And it would be really interesting to see what if they do go through with this and Famous B does put some new kind of flashy gimmick or something on Tejano, and I could see it now, Tejano coming down to the ring in some new flashy getup, and he's, still has his bull rope and some kind of new ring wear, and he's just got this look on his face like, I'm regretting this already. I could see it all happening now. But I digress. We'll see what happens. Then we get a great match, which we usually see singles match or trios matches. We usually don't see tag matches. That's actually something kind of rare for Lucha Underground. We get a pretty cool tag match between Jack Evans, PJ Black versus Angelico and Son of Havoc. Cool to see those guys team up again. Jack Evans and PJ Black getting the win there. And covered the promo between Sexy Star confronting Dario Cueto. Oh, Dario Cueto's looking in that box with that like blue glow, which we see later in the episode. We finally get the revealing of what's in the box, what's glowing blue. And no, it's not a bunch of holy Smurfs. It's something much more cool than that. We get match number 4 and 5, the best of 5 series for what did they call it? An incredible opportunity, an amazing opportunity, whatever Dario called it. Between Cage and Tejano. And if you listen to my little award show I did on this channel, Smash This Podcast, I also took part in one, covered the same things, but involved different people from Rambling About Wrestling. Rambling About Wrestling did one yesterday. Call it the Ramblies. So, a best of, wrestling, Pro Wrestling Awards 2016 covers different awards. And as far as feud of the year, I picked this one between Cage and Tejano. I felt it was very well booked. It wasn't overdone. They spaced it out enough so that you didn't feel like you were getting sick of it, and yet they kept bringing you back to it here and there to remind you of the feud that was going on. To me, that was just incredible. They didn't beat it over your head and give you like 10 matches like they did between Cesaro and Sheamus, and then turn them into a tag team, which was just ridiculous still, in my opinion. But man, these two guys just clobbered the shit out of each other. It was so awesome. All over the temple, in the crowd, up the stairs, down the stairs, in the ring, weapons, just crazy. And so then Tejano wins the first one, ties it up. Dario comes out, and he's like, you know what, we're not going to wait. Let's do match 5 right now. Cage is already bleeding profusely from his head. So then they go to commercial and come back. And so already the odds are in Tejano's favor. Things are not looking good for Cage at all. He's pretty banged up. But he pulls out a win here and wins the best of 5 series. Don't know how, but it was tremendous. So then Dario comes out. He's like, hey, come on in the office. I'm going to show you what your reward is. I don't want to show you in front of all these people. They're not going to understand. They're not going to get it. And so then it cuts to in the office promo after the match. And he's like, what? What is it? And Dario's sitting there with the box like, check it out, man. Opens up the box, and then he's like, no, I'm not into Renaissance stuff. Thank you, but no thank you. And Dario's like, no, wait. Look, if you don't want it, that's fine, but just at least try it on. And then they do the whole slow-mo thing, and they had like the lighting, the music, and the little lightning special effects as Cage is putting his hand into the glove, raises it, and the lightning's going all over the glove, and then he's choking out Dario. Just about kills him. And he's like, you know what? I changed my mind. I think I am going to keep this. So, holy crap. So this is all stuff that's surrounding this meeting that's going on in the limo. As far as this, like, allegiance between Dario Cueto and, now I'm going to forget, the guy in the limo. Lorenzo Lamas' character. I remember his real name. Can't always remember his show name because we haven't seen him for a while. And of course, there's the unknown character in the back of the limo as well that we have not seen yet, who has the deep, dark, demonic voice, which I'm sure we'll see soon. Well, sometime this season. So Brian Cage has this ridiculously powerful glove. It's like the Infinity Gauntlet, except without jewels. So they just, that's in order to not get in trouble from Marvel, they call it the Gauntlet as opposed to the Infinity Gauntlet. Man, I can't wait to see where this goes. That's going to be just nuts. And then more into this week's episode 18, Evil Rising. And yes, folks, evil certainly is rising all ways, shapes, and forms. We get Oh, we talked a little bit already about the promo between Katrina and Mil Muertes. How was Puma alive? And she's like, you gotta go take care of Vampiro. He attacks him at the end of the episode. Crane confronts Katrina. We talked about that. Man, what a messed up relationship those two have. It's must be something that's lasted like centuries or something to that effect. There's something so mysteriously supernatural about Jeremiah Crane, and it's just awesome. I can't wait to see where this goes. We get the match between Sexy Star Mariposa, and they kick the stunt out of each other. Talked about that. Marty comes to Mariposa's aid, choke slams her. So we already have our first what the fuck moment of the year. We gotta remember that for the end of the 2017 awards. We gotta remember that, folks. Good what the fuck moment. Or oh my god moment, maybe. I don't know. We get very humorous. We get a lot of Wrestle Silly in this episode. But it's in doses. It's not a ton of it. So that's fine. Masquerita Sagrada, Mini, is working out in the locker room. And he's approached by the Rabbit Tribe, by Paul London and his guys. Saltador and Mala Suerte. Bear with me with the pronunciations of this. I'm still learning them. So many new characters lately. It's it's trying to drink it all in, man. All the lucha awesomeness. They approach Masquerita Sagrada and they're telling him that he's the rabbit and that they found him. And we want you to accompany us down to the ring for our match. And he's like, you're crazy. You're loco. So yeah, very, very funny segment there. And I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the season that he's actually with them and that they actually do something weird with him, like put him in like the Christmas Story Pink Bunny outfit, something to that effect, and then like carry him around like he's a little god. If that actually happens, I'm going to pee myself laughing. Just saying. Crazy. Then we get a trios match between the Rabbit Tribe and the Lizard Tribe. Paul London, Mala Suerte, Saltador versus what seems to be, it's supposed to be Cobra Moon, Pindar, and Vibora, but Drago is being led out there and he's chained up. He's got like a, he's like cuffed around his neck and being led by a chain by Cobra Moon. And she actually takes herself out of the match, puts Drago in the match for the 3-on-3, for the trios match. Crazy how this all went down. Little bit of, like I said, a little bit of Wrestle Silly in this match. A lot of just great wrestling. It's all around very good, entertaining match. And this, wow, the giant Vibora. Wow, what a guy. Between choke slams and the tombstone. Very cool. Very cool. Starting to like him a lot. And I'm going to have to see how tall this guy really is. They keep talking about him being a 7-footer. Maybe he's close to 7 foot. We'll see. My buddy Paul Sweat would probably say something to the effect of he's the shortest 7-footer out there. We'll see. That's, of course, in what he used to say about Big Cass from the WWE. Anyways, the Lizard Tribe wins this one. And then we see the rest of the Trios champions trying to rescue Drago from Cobra Moon's clutches, so to speak. And they actually do so. So I have a feeling we're going to end up seeing a match between the Lizard Tribe and the Trios champs. Which, like I know I've said this before, but we haven't seen them that much. But this is all surrounding Drago, so we're going to see them soon enough, within the next few weeks, I imagine. Quick little promo of the Mac telling Sexy Star that he wants to go fight Johnny Mundo out there on his own, which we see he actually did need some help tonight. A lot of help, unfortunately. The next promo is Dario Cueto meeting with the Mac in the locker room, informing him that tonight's match is not for the Lucha Underground Championship, except it's just a match, and whoever wins the match gets to decide the stipulation for the Lucha Underground Championship match that they will eventually have. So they're still going to get the championship match, but they'll have a stipulation in the match, which great match. Unfortunately, was had some interference from the Worldwide Underground. Evans and Black came in, interfered. End up costing Mac the match. So then Mundo, verbally and physically abuses him some more. Love the curb stomp, by the way. Haven't seen a curb stomp in a long time, a la Rollins. Nonetheless, was great to see that. And we get the stipulation that Mundo tells Mac that he's going to end up facing him again all night long. So we're going to get an entire episode of Mundo versus Mac. And I'm sure it's going to be soon. I wouldn't think that it's going to be next week, because next week is the season. Like I said, it's the season 3, mid-season finale. So, maybe they are going to have the match. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look up and see if it says anything on the good old guide in the info for next week episode. What is that? 19. So wow, so much stuff between last week and this week. Try to cram it all in as quick as possible and not make a ridiculously long review, because I am slightly behind. But now I'm caught up. We're all caught up. You're caught up, and the temple is all caught up as well. And we'll get back to Slamtown next week for the mid-season finale. Not sure what's all going to go down there. They might have mentioned something that's going to happen, and I might have missed it because so much stuff is happening. Trying to keep up with notes and everything. It's crazy, but love it. So that's it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you like what you see. The channel is growing. I'm not sure how this happened, because I get some views on this channel, nothing tremendous, but I did a video a couple days ago reviewing the Bring It to the Table first episode on the WWE Network. I know that's not Lucha Underground has anything to do with the Lucha Underground, but just bear with me. That review I did for that episode is over 1,700 views right now. For why, I don't know. But for everyone who is a new sub to this channel, because I do have several new subs, it went from 40-something to 50-something, I thank you. I thank you for subbing. And, hey, hope you enjoy the ride, because there's going to be a lot of different things coming. Watched Wrestle Kingdom last night. There will be a review coming for that down the road sometime soon. Lots of crazy shit happened last night. I'm still fried from that because I was up all night and didn't get much sleep this morning. Holy crap. If you have any way possible, go see Okada versus Kenny Omega. Dear God, insane. So, yeah, lots of new stuff coming. Of course, more Lucha Underground, stuff from Full Slam. Be talking some more Wrestle Kingdom stuff soon. All sorts of new stuff. So I hope you stick around for the ride. Once again, welcome to the new folks out there. And if you want to follow it on social media, there is a Facebook page for Smash This Podcast. I'm not on there as much, and I'm a horrible promoter on the Twitter page, but there is a Smash This Podcast Twitter page as well. Or you can follow me personally at jbone5150 on Twitter. So that's it for this one. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you again somewhere within the next couple of days. We'll be talking some more either Flow Slam stuff or Wrestle Kingdom stuff, something of that nature before the weekend hits and I have my kids here again, because when I have my kids here, I'm not in here in front of you. So, adios. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. Much love.